All right, we are going to go over the 4 most common sit to stand tests for this population that you guys are working with. There is the STS-5, which is how fast can you do 5 reps of sit to stand. The STS-10, which is how fast can you do 10 reps. So these are both for time, all right? They have as much time as they want to complete those, but you want to encourage them to do it as fast as possible in a safe manner. And then this is a 30-second, I call it an AMRAP, as many reps as possible, and then a 60-second AMRAP. So obviously you can look here. It's likely going to take your client less than 30 seconds to complete 5 reps, potentially even 10 reps, okay? These are going to be a little bit more muscular endurance. This might lean towards strength if their max capacity is between that 6 and 1 range. Okay, we can call that strength, but we really want to get the endurance up here. This is good. It's a good indicator of overall capacity for the lower body. All right, so you have your timer here. So you'll instruct your client first. You will actually do this. You want to tell your client to do it. Make sure your chair is stable. You will demonstrate for your client what you want them to do. I want your feet about shoulder width apart, and I want you to sit back in the chair and then stand back up. That's 1 rep, okay? So depending on what you're going to do, if you're doing the STS-5, you're going to say, I want you to do 5 of these as quickly as possible, as long as you're comfortable moving through the motions. So you're going to say 3, 2, 1, go. Hold on, I'm not on. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 11 seconds, okay? That's a good time if somebody can do it that fast. You do the same thing as far as instructions goes on the STS-10. On the 30-second or the 60-second, you're actually going to, you can set the timer up to your seconds, or you can just make sure you're watching. You don't want to go 31, 32, or a minute and 3 seconds. You want to make sure it's right on that time. And you're going to instruct and count for them. You'll say ready, set, go. And then you can count for them. And for someone who is not the most fit person in the world, even for people that are the most fit people in the world, 30 seconds to a minute on an AMRAP, that's a long time without having someone give you feedback. So you can either count out loud for them, but you also probably want to let them know on the 30-second, hey, we're about halfway, and then that 5-second, and then that 3, 2, 1. Also keep in mind that you might have some people, when they get towards the end, maybe like a Tabata interval or an interval here, when they hear that 3, 2, 1, they might kind of quit. So if you know your client and you know you've done assessments with them before and they might kind of quit, then don't give them that feedback, all right? So you need to really understand how your client works, how they're motivated, but generally if you're doing this for the first time ever with them just to measure their lower body capacity, then you probably want to keep them in the loop as to where they're at. All right, if you have any questions over those 4 assessments, please feel free to ask.